Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Marsha Y. How is everyone doing today? I hope you haven't eaten a huge brunch or lunch and you're ready to do some yoga circuit. So my husband is setting up right now, writing down the poses for us to do today. Hello. When we do start the class, I will shut off the comments, but it's so nice to see all the hellos and thank yous and the waved hand and the emojis with the heart eyes and everything. And it's very difficult too for me to know who you guys are, because sometimes the name of your IG account name is different from your actual name. So hi everybody, Fibri, Lenovit, Angela. Hello you guys. We're gonna start in a few minutes. So if you do have blocks, that would be great because we need them for some weights, as weights. But if you don't really need them. And we'll start getting ready for our today's circuit yoga class. Okay, are you guys ready? Wave back. I'm gonna shut off the comments now. But if you guys do have any feedback or you'd like to give me a message or whatever, please do so. I love to hear from you guys. Okay, comments are going off now. Turn off. Okay, so we'll start first by sitting and centering ourselves. So you can go ahead and sit on a block or a blanket if you like. We'll start in Swastikasana. So once we've done like a short meditation and centering, then I'm going to take you through the moves that we're going to do and explain a little bit, and then we'll start the workout, okay? So widen your seat. Place your feet directly below your knees in Swastikasana. Gently rest your hands on your thighs or your knees, and close your eyes. Start to find your breath through your nose, inhaling and exhaling. As you find your breath, relax your feet and your knees, soften the belly, ground your seat to the block or the blanket or maybe the floor. Use that energy pushing down into the floor to lengthen your spine, lift your chest, draw your shoulders back and down. And we find the breath through the nose. On your inhale, really expanding the lungs, expanding all the way to the top of your breath. Take a pause at the top of the breath, and then a slow exhale. To the center of your heart, thumbs at the center of your sternum, opening your elbows wide, press your palms evenly together. And we'll start with just one Om together. Take a deep inhale. Inhale, lifting your chest. Exhale, bow your head to your heart. We give thanks for this time and technology, or Instagram, allowing us to do this sort of live stream yoga class together all around the world. And for all the teachers who have paved the way before us, namaste. Hey everyone, so we're going to start today. We have actually, is it 5 or 6 moves? We have 6, right? So I know show you real quick the moves that we're doing today. I know that it's the mirror image, so when you guys see it, it's like if you look in a mirror, you can see what it says. Okay, so the first move is the plank pose. Oops, plank pose. The second one is Utkatasana, which is chair pose. And then we have Chaturanga, and then Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2, Dish pose, Ardha Navasana, and then Anjaneyasana, which is the high lunge pose, okay? So we're focusing mainly on these poses, and then we're gonna do kind of like interval training with it. So we'll hold it for a minute, and then we'll have like 30-second rest, okay? I think we can go straight into it. Okay, so we start with plank pose, and we'll be timing everything. So what you can do is, if you feel you can't hold the pose any longer, you can come out of it, take a few breaths, but try to go back into the pose. Don't just give up and watch all of us suffer. Okay, I will probably also need to rest at times, but it's okay as long as you don't give up and you keep coming back into it. Okay, so let's try together. We'll start with plank pose. So placing your hands shoulder width distance apart, and then your feet like so, shoulders and hips at one height, drawing the belly in, okay? Some of you might stay on your arms like I am. If you want, you can do what Mehdi's doing right now, which is on his forearms. Okay, if this is too difficult for you, you can even go on your knees. Okay, but the whole point is to bring your tailbone forward and have your trunk from the knees to the trunk in one line, even if it's diagonal. If you're up here, then it's also in one line. Yeah? Drawing your belly in.
Did we start or not?
We started.
We started?
Hiya!
What are you explaining? So
while I'm explaining, we do it. Yeah.
Okay. Ready? Let's
Okay, ready and go.
Okay.
Holding for 1 minute now. Placing your hand shoulder width distance. When you start to get tired, what I find helpful is to really spread the fingers, and then you focus on your belly drawing in, squeeze the thighs, and bring the crown of your head forward. Stay high on your toes. Remember, when you get tired, just come to your knees if you need to. Come to your knees, take a few breaths, and when you feel ready, you want to challenge yourself again, then you go back up. Okay, but try not to get out of the pose completely. We try to go as long as we can. 10 seconds left. So don't give up. Remember, crown of the head forward. Work your hands, work your thighs. And resting for 30 seconds in child's pose. Open your knees, feet together, and reach forward. So we have 30-second rest. Our next pose will be standing up in chair pose, Utkatasana. Does it go straight into it? Okay, so let's start standing up. Bring your feet together, arms up, Utkatasana chair pose. Squeeze your knees together. So feet are together, knees are together, keeping your arms up. So a lot of times I see this in class, and this is not working the muscles you need to. So what you need to do is squeeze the thighs together, bring the arms up, even come up a little bit higher first, draw the belly in, and then sit back again. Keep your arms straight. This is bent, this is straight. Straight arms, squeeze them by your ears. And when you start to feel your body going down, you have to come up again, and then sit deeper. Squeeze your knees, squeeze your knees. 10 seconds left, don't give up. Keep your arms straight. 3, 2, 1, and stand up. Come into Uttanasana, wide stance. Open your feet as wide as your mat. You can grab your elbows and slowly fold forward. You can also do a concave spine by placing your fingers to the floor, or if you have blocks, you can also stand on blocks. Our next pose will be the hardest one, I feel, chaturanga. Most of you need help in this one. So we come to the floor, set your hands for chaturanga. Okay, come forward, plank pose, and then go into chaturanga. So you need to be very close to the floor. Your tailbone has to go down into the floor. Now, 1 minute chaturanga is very difficult, even for me. So when you get tired, place your knees to the floor, hold it there, and then when you feel okay, you can go back, or you can just stay with your knees bent. If you come down to the floor, take a few breaths there, come back into it. That's only 20, that's only 35 seconds. See, even for me, it's quite difficult. So don't worry if you can't do it completely. Hug those elbows in, tailbone down towards the floor. You're only a few inches off the floor.
7 seconds.
2, 1. Good, child's pose. Open your knees, reach forward. Yes, that one's very difficult, especially 1 minute, but a lot of you guys need it. Make sure you have the right alignment, making sure that butt, the pet, most of her, pet, the butt. Don't let the butt stick out. Okay, next pose will be standing, Virabhadrasana 2, right? Right leg forward, go straight into it, Virabhadrasana 2. If you have blocks, we use them as weights in our arms. Palms facing up. Turn the back foot in. Keep the left leg straight, the back leg straight. Bend your right knee deeply. So sometimes what I see is this knee going inwards. You want to watch your right foot, the foot that's in front, making sure that's pointing forward. Then bend your right knee. Make sure that right knee is in a squared position. Tailbone goes forward. A lot of times I see it sticking out. You want the tailbone to go forward and then you sit down. Hug everything in. Feel your muscles, the muscles of the legs from the feet going up into the hips. 13 seconds. It's very difficult with the blocks, especially if you have these cork blocks like I do. Switch to the left side. Oh shoot, we held it for 1 minute, right? So what should we do? 30-second rest. Now, if you don't have any blocks, you can always use toilet paper. Okay, let's try with the left leg. Turn your right foot in, placing your left foot straight forward. Bend your left knee. Let's start. So even though the toilet paper is not heavy at all compared to my cork blocks, at least it helps me see that the toilet paper is in one line. I see a lot of I don't know, that type of thing happening sometimes. Okay, so make sure your left knee is pointing straight forward. Tailbone goes into the body. Squeeze the back leg. Outer edge of your back foot touching the floor. And then bend the left knee deeply. So we were supposed to do 30 inches. Don't give up on the arms. Even with the toilet paper, it's quite difficult. You should try my cork blocks, they're really heavy. Almost there, you guys. Bend it a little bit deeper. And come up. Uttanasana for our break. You can grab your elbows, other elbow, open your feet wide. The next pose will be on the floor, our dish pose, which is Ardha Navasana. Now let's slowly sit to the floor. Get ready for the next pose, dish pose. Okay? So you can start with your arms forward, drawing your belly down to the floor, keeping your feet and your eyes at one height. You want the shoulder blades to be off the floor. Sometimes I see this. You want the shoulder blades off the floor, drawing the belly in. Now the arms over the head, what Mehdi was doing is a much harder version. But since we're holding for 1 minute, you can try with your arms over the head, but once it gets too challenging, bring it forward, that's fine. Because 1 minute for dish pose is quite a long time. Draw the belly down. We have 18 seconds to go. Don't give up. If you need the easier option, go for the easier option. 5, 4, 3, 2, and come back up. Let's go back into that child's pose to rest. Opening your knees. Our last pose is going to be Anjaneyasana, which is the high lunge pose. Should we just do 30 seconds on each side? How are you guys doing? Let's get ready to stand up. Anjaneyasana, right leg forward. So it's a high lunge position. Make sure that back foot is high. So we're lifting the back heel up as much as you can. Bend your right knee and reach your arms over your ears. So making sure you're hugging your arms in. They're straight arms, not bent. Straight arms. A lot of tendency is for that back foot to go back like this and for your pose to become like that. I want you to lift the heel up, lifting this left thigh up as you bend your knee. That way, these muscles are also working. You also need to draw the belly, draw the tailbone a little bit forward into the body so that you're not just relaxing like this. Your spine should be nice and straight. Bend your right knee deeper. And come up. Okay, we'll rest in Paschimottanasana with your legs wide. So you can bring your hands underneath your shoulders, or if you need a block to come up higher, that's fine. You can fold all the way forward and grab your ankles if you like as well. How are we doing? It's tougher than you thought, huh? Get ready. Anjaneyasana left side. Reach your arms up. Stay high on that back toe. Lift your right heel up and start to bend. So you really want to engage this muscle here. A lot of times it collapses and then that knee bends. So in order to work your back thigh muscle, you need to squeeze your right knee and lift your right heel up. Then from there you can bend and you draw the tailbone slightly forward into the body. We don't want this happening. We want this. Squeeze your arms by your ears. Squeeze the back knee. Don't let your back knee bend. Squeeze the back knee. Now bend deeper into your left knee. And stand up. Prasarita again. Holding forward. If you want, you can bring the feet a little bit closer and come to a wide Uttanasana. Go back to plank. Oh, this is our 2-minute rest because this is the complete circuit. And then we're gonna go back into the circuit. We're gonna go back into the circuit from the beginning and we do it again. Is that still 2 minutes? So if you remember, our first pose is plank pose. We're gonna start with our plank pose, okay? Up to you which option you like to take on the hands, on the forearms, or if you need to place the knees down, okay? You can come to the floor if you'd like. You can even grab a quick sip of water. If you want to it to be a more cardio workout, you can always do Surya Namaskar A in between each circuit. Hey, are you ready? Let's set up for plank pose. Place your hands or your forearms. Remember to keep the shoulders and the hips at the same height. Now when you're on your forearms, what helps is to push actively the forearms down to the floor. And if you're, interlacing your fingers in front, and the outer edges of your palm will be pushing into the floor. And you don't want to make the shoulders go by the ears. You want to push them away from the ears. Again, squeeze your thighs. Don't let your butt stick out. Draw the tailbone forward into the body. Come on, 10 seconds. And child's pose. The next pose is Utkatasana chair pose. If you want, you can even take a block between your thighs. I find that the block between the thighs helps me engage the thigh muscles more. Arms over your ears. Utkatasana chair pose. Remembering to keep your arms by your ears. Don't let your trunk go forward. Keep your trunk vertical. And then belly goes in. Squeeze your block. If you don't have a block, you're squeezing your knees and your feet together. We've really chosen the poses that I dread in class. These are my husband's requests, so you can kill him later. I will. Arms by your ears. 10 more seconds. And stand up. Woo. You can go into Uttanasana if you like. Feet apart. Okay, our next one will be the hardest one, Chaturanga. So start on your knees. Let's prepare. And your elbows have them in. Tailbone forward into the body. If you have your knees on the floor, see if you can extend your knees off the floor. See, it's difficult for me as well. My husband is managing to hold it. You don't want to go too high up either. You want to just be hovering over the floor. 10 seconds. Child's pose. That one is my worst nightmare. Maybe in class I'll start to have you guys hold it for a minute. These are all a work in progress, so if you can't hold it for that long, don't worry about it. As long as you keep trying, that's already really good. Okay, let's stand up. Get ready for Virabhadrasana 2. Right leg forward. If you want, you can have the blocks in your hands. I would like my husband to try with the cork blocks because they're heavier. Then I'm going to steal yours. Okay, keeping that back leg straight. Bend your right knee deeply. Remember to draw the tailbone into the body. Is your right knee bent at a 90-degree angle? Is your right thigh parallel to the floor? Look to see. And look at your right knee. Is your right knee pointing forward, or do you see it going inwards? We want to open the hips in this pose. Ten seconds. Don't give up yet. Good. Straighten your legs. Hatha Rita. If you want to fold over, you can go ahead and fold over. Okay, get ready for the next side. Have your blocks ready. Turn your left foot out. And your Virasana 2. Now I remember a time when my right thigh, my front thigh, this left thigh would burn so much that it would, I would have a cramp. 我以前會抽筋，即係嗰個大髀會抽筋。And until you develop those muscles and work everything, the legs from the feet working up to the hips. Until you use that action and the action of the tailbone going forward into the body, you won't be able to relieve yourself of that cramp. So really focus on engaging all of those muscles at the same time. You don't want the thigh muscle to be working on its own. Okay, let's bend the left knee deeper. Draw the belly in. And come up. Good, Prasarita. If you want to fall forward, you can fall forward. Our next pose is dish pose. Now I'm going to give the option for those of you who would like to do Navasana instead of Ardha Navasana, which is the boat pose instead of the dish pose, okay? So let's sit down. Navasana or Ardha Navasana. So Mehdi is doing Ardha Navasana, dish pose. I'm doing Navasana, which is boat pose. Draw your belly in. In both poses, you want to think about the belly going down, down, okay? We don't want to stick the belly out because it might grow that way. We don't want it to grow inwards. We want the muscle to work from the inside and not pushing out. When you feel tired, I usually will reach my arms really forward and focus on the belly. Otherwise, again, right? Those muscles will cramp up if we don't use the core. So focus, focus, focus on the core. Keep your feet higher than your head if you're in Navasana. If you're in Ardha Navasana, shoulders off the floor. Back of the shoulder blades off the floor. And release. Good. You can go into child's pose if you like. I'm going to go into butterfly. Leaning forward because I want my hips to stretch a little bit from Navasana. Okay, our next pose is that high lunge pose, Anjaneyasana. Okay, so start to get up. We're going to step the right leg forward. Anjaneyasana. Reaching your arms up. Now a lot of times you need to first go high onto the back toe, and then you need to draw the left hip forward so you square the hips. Then you find the bend in the knee. Sometimes we collapse the back thigh, and then the knee bends, but we don't want that. We want to lift the thigh, and then squeeze the back knee. Then you bend the knee in the front, okay? So there's two actions going on, a lifting the back leg, and then the bending of the right leg, the front leg. And that back toe, the action of the back toe is actually really beneficial for some of the poses where we need to engage the feet, like flying pigeon, that arm balance, flying pigeon, Ekapada Galavasana, where we have to hook the foot on the arm. So we need to really work the muscles in the feet. Make the muscles stronger. Prasarita. So you don't want those feet to be lazy, right? You want to really push the ball of your toe into the floor and lift the heel up like you have 5-inch heels on, okay? Let's try the other side. We still have 8 seconds. You can turn and start to prepare. Lift your back heel up as high as you can. Squeeze the leg, bend your knee. Arms up by your ears. And even the arm position, these arms by your ears, that positioning is so important because we want the arms to have energy. The energy of the arms will lift you up. So it's like your spine is being pulled in 2 directions. Your legs are going down, but your arms are going up. Squeeze the back knee. Back knee straight. Back knee straight. All of you. Bend your left knee deeper. Remember, tailbone forward into the body. A little bit deeper. And come up. Prasarita.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. That was our second circuit. I think we'll only have time for one more circuit. It's already really good. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sweating a lot. How are you guys doing? I know you can't comment back to me, but it's okay. If you have any feedback or you want to make any comments to me, please, you can personal message me and I'll get back to you, okay? Thank you. So we have one more circuit. Don't go away. We still have one more circuit. You have 1 more minute of rest. Take this time to get some water if you need to. Once we finish the circuit, I'll take you into a cool down, some light stretches before we finish the class, okay? So 1 more circuit to go, you guys. We can do this. So through each,
30 more seconds.
30 seconds. So through each circuit, you kind of think about what you did the previous time and what things you can work on. Maybe each time you do it, you understand which parts of your muscle to work, and you can do it even better the next time, the next round. Okay, so these short breaks are to help you rest and get your energy back so that you can go full force in each pose. Okay, 15 seconds. Plank pose, everyone. So either forearms or on your hands or on your knees. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So sometimes I like to do this plank because it really helps me with my wrists. Like those of you who like to do a lot of arm balances and handstands, actually plank pose with your hands on the floor can really condition your wrists for this. But a lot of times your hands aren't working enough, so you need to spread your fingers and really grip the floor with your fingers to relieve the wrists from hurting. But this plank pose really conditions your wrists to become stronger for all of those arm balances and for handstand. Use your legs when you get tired. The thighs, squeeze your knees straight. Good. Child's pose, open your knees, keep your feet together, reach forward. Okay, our next pose is chair pose, Utkatasana. So we can slowly make our way to a standing position. If you like the block between your thighs, use the block between your thighs. That one's big, huh? Squeeze the block, arms up, and bend your knees. Really keeping your arms by your ears, drawing the belly in, keeping that spine as vertical as you can. I always see this in class. And it's like, I say straight arms, and usually the person that has bent arms doesn't move at all. So when I say straight arms, assume that it's you and straighten those arms. You should feel the arms like really close to your ears, okay? Keep squeezing the block. Sit a little bit deeper. Don't let your arms bend. Trunk vertical. Sit a little bit deeper. And up. Uttanasana. So as we get tired, because this is the third round, maybe you're a little more tired, just remember that the finish line is close by. Okay, the next one is chaturanga, and I find chaturanga to be the most challenging in this series. I'm going to show you guys an option, which is the blocks like this and like this, okay? So either you do the same as Mehdi, he's just holding it, or you place the blocks on your thighs and this block between your chest, okay? And then you tuck your feet in, and then you bring your chest and your thighs off the block at the same time. Hold. Hold as long as you can, and then come back down. And then you keep repeating that. Hold and come down. Come up. Maybe 5, 4, 3, 2, and down. And then up again. 5, 4, 3. You need to squeeze the elbows by your side. 5, 4, 3, 2, and down. For the last one, we're going to go all the way into plank pose. And then all the way down. Touch. Don't feel bad if you can't hold the chaturanga for a minute. I have not gotten there yet either. Our next pose is Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. So since it's standing, let's start to get up. My husband needs the heavier one. Step your right leg forward. Turn your back foot in slightly. So make sure each time you do this, you have good alignment. Your front heel should be in line with the back arch of your foot, okay? So turning the left foot in, outer edge of your left foot grounded to the floor. Feel the inner edge of your front foot grounded to the floor, and keep that knee open. Bend your right knee, draw the tailbone forward. Keep the arms up. No cheating on the arms. Squeeze the arms straight. It's getting harder and harder. I keep looking at the clock. This is also an experiment for me and my husband to try this type of yoga circuit. And come up. And it's proven to be quite difficult, you know. I don't know, it's a different type of difficult than CrossFit, but it's still very difficult. It's like you're working the muscles to make them long, you know. In yoga, you make the muscles long, not like in CrossFit where everyone's kind of short and stocky, because they do a lot of
That's mean to CrossFit.
they do a lot of quick and heavy movement, you know. But in yoga, we stretch, right? We stretch and we hold the poses. So we strengthen the muscles and make the muscle longer. because we're holding the pose and we're not doing those quick spurts of like heavy lifting, which will shorten your muscles. Okay, so even in Virabhadrasana 2, at the same time of opening the hips up, as you can feel, we're really working the muscles, right? Unless you're doing this wrong, you feel nothing, then you're doing it wrong, you know? So turn the back foot in slightly, keep the right leg straight, ground the outer edge of your right foot, and then bend your left knee deeper. Bend your left knee deeper. Can your left thigh become parallel to the floor? Keep your arms open. Good. Come up. Hasarita. As you can see, it's quite difficult to hold these poses by the third round. I think everyone who's doing this practice today, you're going to be very sore tomorrow. Okay, our next one is on the floor. It's the dish pose, Ardha Navasana, or Navasana. Okay, so go straight into it if you need to. Another option, since this is the third round, you might be really tired. Another option would just be to stay here, grabbing behind your thighs, keeping your knees by your chest. Okay, that's fine, because this is the third round, you might be really tired. Or you can straighten the knees, or you can go into the full pose, okay? Other option is to do what Mehdi is doing back there, Ardha Navasana, which is dish pose. Either way, don't give up. When you feel tired, you go for the easier option. Better than giving up, right? Okay, so reach forward. Right? Better than giving up, right? Shoulders off the floor. Shoulders off the floor. Shoulders off the floor while we look at the time, hoping that it'll go faster. Almost there, guys. And release. For this one, I like to go into Baddha Konasana because it opens up my hips. Oh, we're at the last pose, right? Anjaneyasana, so you have to do your best in this pose. Let's do an option where you can take a block between your hands so that you keep your arms by your ears, okay? Standing the right leg forward. Anjaneyasana. Stay high on that back foot. Squeeze your left knee. Keep the left thigh going up. And then bend your right knee deeply. Arms by your ears. So the block helps you know where your arms should be. Keeping them by your ears rather than too wide or bent. So a lot of times I keep moving in Anjaneyasana. I'm constantly bringing that left hip forward to square the hips and constantly pushing that thigh up and constantly again bending the knee. So it's not just a pose that you just hold. You're constantly working each muscle, because once you forget one muscle, you need to engage the other one. And come up. Whew. Final round, and then we'll do a quick cool down. Are you guys sweating? I hope so. Okay, set yourself. Get your hands ready on the blocks. Arms go up. Come up high onto your back foot. Squeeze your knee straight and then bend your front leg. Don't let that back knee bend. Squeeze your back knee. It's so hard to keep that back knee straight, right? Because you need to push your toe into the floor so much and lift the heel up so much that this knee squeezes straight. And you think about lifting the thigh muscle up. Then, and only then, can you bend your left knee deeper. Draw your belly in. Bring the tailbone forward into the body. Squeeze your arms. Come on, this is our last one, so don't give up. Ten more seconds. Squeeze the back knee, don't let it bend. And come on. Whoa. Okay. Let's come to the floor now. Whew. How was that for you guys? I hope it was okay. Let's come into Upavishta Konasana. So you open your legs wide, widen your seat, keeping your hips at one end, your heels at the other end. Okay, inhale, reach your arms up. Let's turn to the right leg and then catch outside of the foot, or you can catch the shin. We're going for a twist. So you actively push the right fingertips to the floor, finding the curve in the back like upward facing dog. Squeeze your legs. Don't let that foot turn in. Inhale, come back up. Turn to your left leg. Same thing. Center. Let's go forward. If you can, grab your toes, lengthening your spine. So we're squeezing the thighs and we're not touching the floor, just elongating the spine and working the thigh muscles down to the floor, keeping your feet pointing straight up. Good, inhale, come back up. Exhale, release, Baddha Konasana. Bring your feet as close to your hips as you can. Ground the left side with your elbow and use your right hand to push your right thigh open. Now, if you have tight hips and your knees are high up, then you can sit on a block like Medi's doing. And let's switch sides. Good, reach forward. Allow your hips to relax. Don't push against your your forward fold. Allow the thigh muscles, the hips to relax. If they start to tense up, then back up a little bit. Good, inhale, come up. Let's lie down for a second. So completely release your body lying down. Bring your feet together, right knee to your chest. Ekapada Pavanuttasana. Working your left thigh muscle, so squeezing the left thighs, but then keeping your left foot pointing straight up. Relax your right foot. And switch. Good. Both knees to your chest. Vipada Pavanuttasana. Relax your shoulders. Relax your sacrum down to the floor. Feel the spine long on your mat. Good. Let's do thread the needle. Right foot over the left thigh. And then reach in front of your left shin. And switch sides. Good. Place both feet to the floor. Right leg half happy baby. And switch. Keeping your right knee bent. Left half happy baby. Back to the right side. This time extend the left leg forward. And just feel your hips opening up. And switch. This time extending your right leg to the floor. Both legs, happy baby. And bring your feet together. Interlace your fingers outside of your feet. Open your knees wide, keeping your arms straight. Good. Bring your feet up higher and then draw them towards you. Knees to your chest, roll up. Paschimottanasana, forward fold. So whichever version you want, you can have the blocks in front of you. You can grab your toes, or you can grab a small blanket or a strap in front, keeping the concave in your lower back, like an upward facing dog. Squeeze your knees. Okay, if you want, you could go into a Shavasana. That's the end of our Hatha Circuit for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave me some feedback and comments. Yeah, make sure you do your Shavasana. Shavasana is still a very important pose. Okay? See you guys again soon. Bye.